Let's take you to the funeral service for Officer Dan Walters. He passed away last year.
News 8's Evan Irani is standing by with more on how he's being remembered today. Evan.
Yeah, that's right. This is really a service for a hero of San Diego. He was a member of the San Diego Padres. He was here local in high school, went to Santana High School. He also, of course, then dedicated his life to public service after he finished his career with the Padres in 1998 was when he joined the police force. And it was shortly after that that he was shot in the neck and then paralyzed while he was on duty. Now, he passed away about a year ago. That pandemic put his funeral service on hold, but take a look at what happened today. That service started with pictures of Officer Dan Walters, his time as a pitcher with the San Diego Padres and as an officer with the San Diego Police Department. Again, back in 2003, after having been on the force for 5 years, he was shot and paralyzed from the neck down after a shooting during a traffic stop that turned out to be a violent domestic disturbance in progress. Inside Shadow Mountain Church today, many members of law enforcement talked about how, despite being paralyzed and in a wheelchair for the past 17 years, he still kept up his spirits. And one of the people speaking said that they hope that as those other members of law enforcement pass his jersey there at the Southeastern Division, that they will remember him, that they'll, of course, honor him, and remember that he really took this bullet for all of them.
He was really a big teddy bear, a huge guy with a huge heart. And for those of you that, especially that are assigned to Southeastern Division, please don't just walk by his jersey or his other tributes in the hallway. Just take a moment and pause and thank him. He literally took a bullet for all of us, and he fought and suffered, for 17 years.
So his caretakers after his injury said that he had days where he wanted to throw in the towel, but he never did. They called him a fighter, and that he took a bullet, as you heard there, for all members of law enforcement today, really about those members of law enforcement being able to respect him and honor his legacy. And we want to bring you out live here because as we take a look here in the front of this Shadow Mountain Church, you can really see this presence here. We're starting to see those members of law enforcement come out. We're going to be seeing that end of watch ceremony taking place really any minute now, and what that means is that final call over their dispatch radio as he, of course, was shot in the line of duty and then died of injuries related to it at the age of 53. They'll do that final end of watch call over the dispatch radio. They'll have a flyover here, and then his body is going to be transported to his final resting place. And as he's taken there, he'll be taken to El Camino Memorial Cemetery. That'll be where his body is laid to rest. But for now, still a huge law enforcement presence now coming out after this about 2-hour-long ceremony inside of this El Cajon church, and we were told there were at least about 300, maybe 400 people in attendance there for today's service. So we'll be here checking back in about 25 minutes or so, another half hour, where we'll see that end of watch ceremony take place and have a little bit more context as to how this ceremony ended. There is still going to be that procession of his body being taken to that El Camino Memorial Cemetery, so still a lot to come of this, but another day where they're able to remember his legacy here after the pandemic and actually hold that service for that fallen officer. In El Cajon, I'm Evan Irani, News 8.